Mhm.
All right, well, we are recording.
All right, well, welcome everyone to the February meeting of the Woodside Fire Protection District. Thanks to all of you who have come in person and online. This is not a long agenda tonight, but I'm glad you all spent some time with us. As we always do, before we start the formal agenda, we ask if anyone from the public would like to say a few words, and I believe tonight we have at least one person who would like to do so. So I'm going to turn it over, sorry, for you.
Thank you. Craig
Craig,
Draymond,
I'm gonna turn it over to Craig.
owner of the Redwood City Seed Company, and then 32 years ago, started the Re-Veg Edge, which is restoring native grasslands from flammable weed patches to fire-safe wildflowers. Been working for 10 years for the town of Woodside at Kite Hill on their 14-acre preserve. We've gone from 20,000 pounds of flammable straw per acre down to 8-inch tall fire safe natives. And the interesting thing is I've got a YouTube video where I've taken a square foot of the straw and put it in a stainless steel mixing bowl, then took a little butane barbecue starter and had a pyrometer to measure the heat level. And if you had the straw standing like this, uncut, and then you mow it and it's laid down, you actually have a longer and hotter burn. You think everything's safe because it's mowed, it's on the ground. No, you've got more of a fire hazard. When you mow the wild oats, when it's standing, it has an airspace between the fuel. You lay it on the ground, you've made grass briquettes that will burn for 15 minutes at over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's why I made him this box. This is where you take a square foot of that mowed straw, you think everything's safe and dandy. You put it on the scale. Every gram of that mowed straw means 100 pounds of fire fuel still on that acre of land. The highest that I've recorded in your district, the average is about 5,000 pounds, which is 2 tons per acre that's ready to burn all summer. But the highest amount was 21,000 pounds. So when they mowed that once a year and you looked at it, it's nice and low on the ground. It's 8 inches thick and it's 21,000 pounds that can burn all summer. So what I invented 30 years ago were 2 methods to get rid of this completely and convert the area back to native wildflowers. So what we do is mow starting now, but we mow it 8 to 12 inches high once a month until June. And then in July, we rake off whatever's left on the ground. Because the chemicals in the straw, whether it's native or not native, in the winter, when the rain hits that straw, it makes a tea that goes down and kills your native seeds that you want to sprout. It's called allele chemicals. So 10 years ago, your fire marshal, Denise, said, I've got this property along those Trancos, 3 acres of 5-foot tall weed grasses. If this place catches on fire, we couldn't get a truck up there to save that subdivision. She said, Craig, I think the native are the solution. What can you do there? We didn't know that there were natives in that 5-foot tall weed patch. We started mowing, and this is after the first year. This was double the height. This is the second year. By the third year, we got down to the native level. Everything was 8 inches tall again. So the next fire marshal liked that idea so much that in March of 2023, they made up that postcard, and that's before and after pictures from Kite Hill, where we started with 4 foot tall flammable weeds. We got back down to the native wildflowers, fire safe wildflowers. And they put those two pictures on a postcard that was sent to all 4,000 residents in this district, suggesting that you mow once a year and you're not that safe, you should try mowing more frequently when everything's green. And the other thing that that does is you're giving those weeds the inability to make more seeds. So you want all the weeds to come on up, we want to get rid of you, and then stop them from making a new crop of seeds.
Which is why you have to mow multiple times. 'Cause
Exactly.
You're getting 2 inches of growth a week at that point.
Exactly. Well, the wild oats actually have this weird ability to know when they're mowed.
Yeah, a lot of things do. Dark thistle loves to see mode.
So, that's why you have to be out there, because a week later, they've already made a new seed head and they're ready to go again. So, the other thing we do is we have to do soil tests. All of your district were former Rancho grants back in the Spanish days, starting in the 1820s. What happened is the cows were eating the grass, but the nutrients that were in the grass left with the cows. We ate the cows. We never brought the nutrients back for 200 years. So whenever I do a soil test in your district, low nitrogen, which went into their meat, low phosphorus, which went into their bones, didn't come back. And I've had to, on the 14 acres at Kite Hill, I've had to fertilize at every one of those 14 acres at least once. Where I have star thistle problems, I've had to fertilize maybe 2 or 3 times. The thing about star thistle is it can only grow where the soil's too poor for even the other weeds to grow.
Yeah, it loves displaced soil. But there's a lot of that in California.
But it's the same thing as the stinkwort that's coming up 280.
Okay.
So you fertilize a weed like star thistle or stinkwort, and they go away in 60 days. So you get down to the native level. And all you're doing now is you wait for the weeds to grow above the wildflowers and you just cut off those seeds. That's all you have to do. And then once you get to the pure native level, you don't have to do anything for fire safety ever again. You're done for generations, 100 years. You won't have to do anything.
Because you think they'll defend themselves then against the invasive the second time?
That's what you're seeing in the
A
picture.
healthy natives will defend
Yes.
themselves against
Yes,
invasives. you're saying,
there's,
in
there's,
healthy
a-
soil.
there's a book that was written in the 1860s. And this gal was looking around California, she says, there's no weeds except where we've plowed the soil. So just like the weeds, the natives give off a chemical too. That's telling that weed seed right next to it, I'm here now, you're not gonna sprout, forget about it. So some of these natives have chemicals in their leaves that are so powerful, they'll kill those weed seeds in the soil in a week. And I've tested that by making these into a tea, putting them on cotton with some mung beans, and the mung beans don't sprout.
Mhm.
And that's a 1:50 ratio. So this is what Kite Hill looks like today. It's almost solid natives now. And that's April when we have our super bloom. Now, I'm thinking, can this happen everywhere in your district? And I think where the district is working right now on the broom plants at Stacy and Carrie Cole's place on Jane Drive. These are photos taken 1 year apart. This is solid 4 foot tall wild oats. This is a solid poppy meadow, no seeds were sown. All these wildflower seeds are coming up from dormant seeds still in the soil. So what I'm suggesting is, because you're in Portola Valley, Woodside, just two donors in Woodside just gave the town $2.5 million to beautify the Woodside median. You have a foundation, nonprofit foundation. Gather up the people who want to have a more fire safe district, more fire safe Portola Valley. Get donations in. Let's do small scale test plots in the different open spaces in Portola Valley. Doesn't have to be 14 acre scale. The first test plot we did at Kite Hill was the size of this room. But it was so dramatic that the town manager, Kevin, and I walked up to the top. He says, we gotta go big. We gotta do make this whole place fire safe. So when people see, like at the Coles place, you start with these flammable weeds and you get down to this fire safe, self-maintaining ecosystem that you don't have to do anything with to be fire safe. I think it's like the dream come true for your district. There's very few districts in California that have this resource in their soil ready to go. I could go to the East Bay and they might not have these seeds. You know, once you get the weeds off, they might not have the seeds there. You might have to sow seeds. You don't have to sow seeds anywhere in your district. They're all over the place. So that's what I came to tell you, the good news. The bad news is, do not think that mowing this dry stuff and it's on the ground, it's making it less fire safe. The only fire safe solution, I think, for your grasses is do this conversion.
Well, this is really interesting stuff, and there's a lot we could talk about, but we have to move on
Oh, yeah.
for today. The part that I would
That's right.
encourage everyone involved to try to get to quickly, because it's where it's all gonna go, is what's the cost per acre to do the treatment, and then you're saying in the long run, after you do the painful work, it should be much cheaper in the future, because you shouldn't have to be doing as much mowing.
It should be zero.
But everyone's gonna focus on, whether it's right or wrong, they're gonna focus on what's the cost to treat per acre, which I'm sure that first year or two, multiple mowings, raking, you're scaring me with labor, is gonna be kind of expensive, so we need to figure it out.
Well, I can tell you,
Please.
at Kite Hill, 14 acres, $1 million.
Good.
Okay,
And do you think it's done?
it's still in progress, but it's probably 70 to 80% done now.
And how long is the cycle to get that conversion?
Well, this was 1 year.
1
Depends
year.
on how much native seeds you have in the soil still.
But you mentioned a cycle of several mowings, that all takes place in 1 year?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you start February, you end in June.
Yeah.
And you do it at least once a month, but you stay at 8 to 12 inches. That's a problem that's happening here in town, is everybody's mowing to the ground and then raking off, but they're taking off the natives along with the weeds.
Got it.
So hopefully I gave you some good ideas.
Absolutely. No, yeah, really thought provoking.
Great.
I was curious about that years ago, but
And I came here intentionally because March 3rd is my birthday. I'll be 72 years old. And I want your district to take advantage of this while I'm still here to, you know, at least help get test plots started. Or I have 2 trained guys that could train the homeowners crews that are already doing once a year mowing, and just train them. Okay, you start in February, March, April, May, and then rake off and fertilize. The fertilizing is half of the issue. If you don't get the natives with the nutrients they need, they're not gonna come up. They're gonna just sit there and
wait till it's good.
wait for a deer or a rabbit to poop on them. That's how it goes. Any other questions? Well,
I'm sure we will.
Okay.
And I apologize, it's rushed. We usually keep these
No, that's
3 minutes, but yours is
Yeah.
way better than you. So
I
I really appreciate it. I will absolutely.
appreciate
Appreciate the information for being here.
And if that date doesn't work for a tour, then suggest a date, we'll have a tour up there this
Great.
spring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. Take care.
Take care.
Take the new type three.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good stuff, all right.
Very cool.
All right. If there's no other general public comment, we are next gonna move to the consent agenda. And I wanna stop and ask whether there's any member of the public wishes to make a comment about the items on the consent agenda before we hit it. Seeing none, I will proceed and see if there's a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We have approved the consent agenda. This being one of the first times in my 12-ish years, we don't have any regular agenda business items, not that I'm disappointed. That will bring us to staff reports. And I appreciate everyone's effort. There's some very good ones this time. I want to just call out BC Francisco's really interesting story about the coronary incident. That's really cool to have. Thank you for taking the time to write that up and lay out the graphic and tell the story, because I think it's a very compelling way to explain what is powerful here and what we do. Those numbers are really amazing. As somebody who has had a 12 lead put on me by a member of this department in my living room, speed is important, and that's some amazing stuff.
Yeah, our crew did an incredible job in recognizing that rapid treatment, rapid transport, and ultimately a very successful outcome. And Yeah.
Really cool.
yeah, and then the picture obviously is very fascinating to see how that's restored and what that
Yeah.
looks like.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
I also enjoyed the EMS report as always, and the training report. The training report shows we're moving new folks through the system, which is great. I saw our lateral firefighters were moving through training, and everyone's moving along. It's part of promoting 18 people or whatever we did. And the pictures of the new equipment and the pictures along Sand Hill Road are really pretty cool. An amazing amount of tonnage of eucalyptus taken out on Sand Hill that I go by every day. I can't help but wonder every time I go by it, like, is that homeowner thrilled to have sunshine, or like
Either really happy.
horrified that the trees are gone? I don't know which, but it sure is a big difference, and I'm sure the new trees will grow nicely, but it looks incredible.
It looks very nice. Yeah, they've done a great job.
So thanks for that. Other comments on staff reports, questions?
Not for me, no, it's good.
All right.
A few apparatus going to the auction, see that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it gives us some better parking when we come.
We're definitely making progress on that, so that's
So good.
yeah, out with a few of the apparatus, and we have a few coming in.
Yeah, we have a
So
bunch
yeah, so I'll
coming in.
touch on those in my district updates here, but yeah.
But you're up next, chief
I'm
of the
up-
fire
I'm
chiefs.
up next,
report.
anyways.
Yes, sir.
All right, so district updates, well, the day after we had our last meeting, we held our badge pinning. So January 28th, we wanted to thank everybody again for being there. It was a great turnout. It was a great ceremony honoring our people, and we're grateful for all the support, so thank you for that. We currently have completed our application process for our lateral hiring that's going on. We're now moving on to the interview phase of the process. That's gonna be held, the first round's gonna be held on March 2nd and 3rd. And the second round will be held on March 27th. So we're looking to bring in 20 for the first round, and we're looking to move 10 through to the second round. So more to follow on that as we come. Three of our members, there's gonna be multiple trips here that I'll talk to you about, but three of our members, Battalion Chief Hurd, Captain Armanino, and Firefighter Morales went back to Pierce Factory in Wisconsin to do the final inspection of our newest Type 1 fire engine. That's typically we go back there and go through the punch list and spend some long days doing hard work doing that. And they did a tremendous job and found a few things that needed remediation.
Good.
So they're gonna be taking care of that. And they actually leave again day after tomorrow to final the rig in Wisconsin. They also, three of our members, not Nico Morales, but three of our members, BC Hurd, Captain Wells, and Captain Armanino, traveled to Ohio to do the final on the Type 3 fire engine. So we're excited to take possession of that rig and utilize it to serve the district. You saw a picture earlier, it's pretty incredible. We're excited to be the first ones kind of in a municipal district using those and training with them. And it's gonna be something pretty exciting for us. The Woodside Fire Protection District Fire Foundation has approved the purchase of a new Lion Intelligent Training System Fire Extinguisher Prop. That was a mouthful.
That is,
This
must
is,
be expensive.
yeah, it was, I think a price tag about 16,000.
Yeah,
Cheap, but you got
16,000. Yeah.
Somewhere around there. This will replace the outdated equipment that we've currently been utilizing for a long time. When I started, we didn't have the equipment. We had a big vat that we poured diesel and gasoline in with a flare. So we're definitely making progress as to what we're doing now. But this is an incredible piece of equipment. It's very valuable, used for CERT training, community fire extinguisher training, school-based safety programs, public events, all that good stuff. So we're really excited for that. So that'll be coming. Post board meeting last January, I signed the contract for the new fire engine, the Type 1 fire engine that was approved in that meeting. All went well with that. It's approximately a 3-year runtime, as we had mentioned. So more to follow on that as we get closer in a few years.
Yeah.
And then we are finally, well, not finally here, we are currently in the process of negotiating our lease agreement here at 808 as well. There's been some back and forth discussions, and we are still kind of in the process of trying to finalize terms and so forth, and how long that contract's gonna be. So working on that, and that'll more than likely be on the agenda for next week, next meeting.
Is the landlord budging a bit on the rent then?
Yeah, a little bit on the rent, and we're just trying to finalize some other details on, percentages and et cetera. So, yeah. And finally, on the district updates, more of a question for you to see if all of you are happy with the times of our meetings in terms of hourly. Does 7 o'clock still work and anything like that, or is there any need for you to alter at all?
Is it good for you?
Fine from the,
Is it good for you?
I mean, it can go earlier for me.
If you'd like it to go earlier, that's something we can do too.
I've always wondered how it works for your team. Like if people are like staying late to sit in this meeting, that seems kind of stupid. I mean, if we can get, I could get here,
earlier, yeah.
I could get here at 5:30, I could get here at 5, I could get here at 6. You probably have a bigger commute than I do these days.
I
But
just
I
want
could
to
go
bring it up
earlier.
since, if
I could go a little earlier.
okay.
Just,
So I would just want to bring that to the group and see if that was something that you were interested in changing, or if you'd like 7 o'clock, or what you would.
If it works better, if you guys have a bunch of dead time at the end of your day while you're waiting for the meeting to start, then we should move it earlier.
Okay.
Yeah,
Would that work for
sure.
all of you?
Yeah, I don't want to put pressure.
Yeah, I don't want to put pressure on you.
Yeah,
We just thought we'd bring it up and you can let me know otherwise.
Commute, so I'm probably the closest one.
You are, but I should have to stop working.
Yeah, no.
I'd be happy to go to 5:30 or 6, whatever.
6 would probably be there early second.
6 works fine.
Okay, let's maybe try that
Let's do
next month, and we'll
Yeah,
go from there.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, I think we have to amend amend the policies if we're going to establish a different time for the
Okay.
meeting. So we can certainly put that on the agenda for the next
worries.
meeting to amend the policies to establish a new start time. And then the
Thank you
start
very
time would
much.
occur the meeting thereafter.
Fantastic. Thank
That's
you.
fine. No hurry, but I hate the notion that people have to hang out and wait for this.
Yeah.
Moving down, no deployments at this time. Promotional exams done currently. We're gonna be pushing that towards the end of the year. No new promotions. And let's see, no more retirements. Nothing in the county, and state fire updates currently since the new year, beginning of the new year. There's 4 wildland fire incidents that have burned approximately 32 acres, no structures destroyed. That's where we're at.
All right.
3 acres seems acceptable.
Oh, yeah. It'll go up.
Yeah.
Hopefully not soon. Is there any written communication?
Yes, we have one card. This is a letter from the Youth Civic Program in Woodside. Battalion Chief Keenan Hurd on January 16th of last month went to town hall and spoke alongside members of the sheriff's department, town council, etc., to children, teaching them about local government and what we do and what the purpose of the fire district is and how we serve the community. And so they wrote him a thank you card. Chief Hurd did a great job, and everybody who was there was very
Funny. What if the cat is stuck in a flaming tree?
Yeah, it seems like a valid question.
Sure, it's in the procedure manual somewhere. Let me look for it.
It's down at the bottom. It's down at the
Step 1,
Because
extinguish.
now the
tree.
cat can't jump down, there's flames all around it.
It's
bottom. It's
definitely
a whole
problem.
different protocol at that point.
It's good.
And that's it for that.
Okay, great. I actually have one idea, and it is just that for a future agenda, and it's a topic I've always wanted to know more about, but honestly was daunted by, and so I don't want anyone here to be daunted by it, but for a lot of years now, we get our financial report, and not sure we all understand certain parts of it, such as the $38 million employee retirement liability or the Gatsby post-employment healthcare cost of $5 million. These are, I think the board would be well served to take the time to learn a bit more about these, either by you assigning us some reading outside so we can come up to speed. But once we do understand what these lines even are and how they might grow or shrink in the future, I think it would help us all in the vein of a strategic plan or looking at the district from a 10-year standpoint. Like, I don't really understand whether I'm supposed to be up at night worrying about this $38 million liability, or like, ah, crap, you guys are small compared to the other guys and nobody pays up. I have no idea. And I've been here 10 years, and I know that the way we are structured with the management of the organization, no chief is here long enough to worry about this stuff, and it's not what you should be worried about. So I think the board should worry about it more. But honestly, the board doesn't, I don't believe the board has had enough time sort of learning it. So my idea for a session was it just an step one, educational session. What are these long-term liabilities that are on here? It's a total of, $42 million. And I couldn't explain it to my daughter or my wife if I had to, and that's not good. I know kind of what it is, but I don't understand whether it's gonna go up or down. I know we have the whole dichotomy between the classic members for retirement and the newer members. We have a lot of weird dynamics going on that I think would be smart for the three of us to understand better. So I'm saying it this way because I don't want Tracy or you to feel pressured. It's not like I think, this stuff's really complicated and it makes everyone's head spin. So I thought maybe if we just spent let's make sure there's no other important, so we have time to talk about it, not like a 10-minute presentation. But if you guys could maybe, whenever, a few months from now, assign us some reading to read just the basics, because you shouldn't waste your time explaining it to us. But then us have a session on wow, what have these costs done over the past few years? Because honestly, I don't know. And what will they do in the future? Like, will these just sit here forever and we don't have to care about them? Or what other districts worry? I just don't know what to think of them. And then we could have a more intelligent view,
Absolutely.
going forward. And I think we could also do a better job explaining to our own employees as we had in the last collective bargaining thing. Like, everyone's like, well, I think it does. I think when you retired, this happened. None of us was actually positive. To a degree, I would want to depend upon my own knowledge, which I should, of what we're paying post-employment, what we're not, what should we be, what shouldn't we be. That's not the crux of this at all. The crux is just understanding what is that $42 million thing that sits on our balance sheet and what should we be doing, if anything, about it.
Absolutely.
Makes
I think
sense?
that we can formulate, we can put together some things.
Some information
Yeah.
for the post-retirement and also the Gatsby 68, which is $38 million, which is the retirement, where they come from. So basically, I download the data from the CalPERS annually report. So I tracking them every year. I have quite a few years of trend. So sometimes the balance is really depend on their investment.
Yeah.
So if last year, I think I'm waiting for the next year report. So before that was about $20-some million, but because 1 year I think 2021, 2022, the investment return was 1% below the projected. So this went up
Yeah.
$10 million. $10 million more.
We can put some written material
Yeah,
together,
that's fine.
and that way we can review.
Again, I don't want anybody else.
No, not at all.
I feel, not because of anything anyone in the district's ever done, I should have asked the question many years ago.
Sure.
Many times I've sort of looked at this like, yeah, gosh, hope that all is okay.
Yeah.
So let's just dig into it and understand it a little bit.
I think that's
Any way you guys want to do it, anytime you want to do it.
No, I can prepare something to,
Yeah,
you
super.
guys to study.
Work on that.
Reading.
Sounds
First.
That's great. Yeah.
In that vein, if anybody else has other items they think of, they can always bring them up, but we I noted this, part of the reason I did this today was like, wow, we actually got to a meeting where there weren't pressing items. Maybe we could do some proactive education, right? So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that, I do not believe we have any other items. We have no closed session tonight. So I want to thank everyone for your attendance, and I will look forward to seeing you all next month. This draws to a conclusion our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good
for-
night.